All right, it's time for the end of day PulseWave report with yours truly, the Algo Capitalist, aka the Vulcan, coming to you live from PulseWaveTrading.com, home of the world famous PulseWave price trigger reports. For those that don't know, it's going to be a very short trading week. Wednesday is going to be the last real trading day, as the markets will be closing for Thursday and closing early on Friday for Black Friday. So nothing's going to be happening. Very thin trading, very light volume, and I don't expect anything to really be on and popping. So I just want to show you from a weekly perspective where we are now, so you can get an idea and what to expect going into next week. So we're going to start off first with gold. As you can see here on the weekly chart, gold has managed to come right down to the bottom of the Kumo cloud and just sort of rest in there for now. We came into this week with a crash alert sell signal, and so far you've gotten all this downside production. So right now you're still in a bullish format. You're in the green zone, but the price is declining below the trend line support and threatening to fall off the cliff. And it's because it's chasing the bearish pointer back here from the week of August the 13th. So just something to think about as we are moving forward. Also keep in mind that there will be no post-wave reports or videos on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. We will resume on Sunday. So no reports until Sunday. All right, so just FYI on that. And there'll be no end of day report videos either. This is the last end of day report for the week. So that's why I'm showing you the weekly chart so you can see where we are and where we've been going. All right, here's GLD. So you can see we had a crash alert sell signal coming into this week, and you can see here the gap down that we've had, and it stopped short at the bottom of the Kumo cloud as well, threatening to roll over and fall off the cliff. Unlike with the futures with that bearish pointer from back, this one here was done on a rally alert, so a little bit different perspective, and it was tested back here on the week of October the 1st. So you could make a case and an argument that this may be just as low as GLD will go because it doesn't have to come back here. The only thing that will make that happen is because you can make another argument that this is a double bearish pointer. Chances are price action could be brought down here to test this one. This one was a test of this one, and it failed to take it out. But you know, the next time it could take it out. Also, GLD won't have a choice if gold futures pull back. But you are in the green zone, so it is a very big possibility that the market will go ahead and rally and do what it has to do. So that is the perspective that that we're taking on it right now. All right, moving right along. Let's take a look now at silver. Taking a look at silver. Let's see, where are you, silver? So many charts. Okay, here we go, silver. All right, so silver is looking a little bit like gold, but a little bit different on this from a weekly chart perspective. Silver has already fallen off the cliff and below the trend line support outside the Kumo cloud. It's in a green zone though, but it's plummeting. It's dangling there. The question is it going to be able to find support and rally? Silver might have a better chance of doing that than gold, but right now both are looking rather bearish. The bears have this market locked down, and there's nowhere else for it to go. It's pretty much a wrap at this point. So unless something else happens, I just don't see any buying interest at this point in time. It's just not there. Can it get there? Yeah, it can. But it's just not likely at this time. price action seems to be doing something different. You know, the market's just acting different right now. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, energy is a big deal right now. You got one group of people that want to rely less on fossil fuels to the point that they're not using any fossil fuels. But they realize too that reality is saying something different. Reality says that that can never be, because there's so many uses for the fossil fuels. It's not just energy consumption going into automobiles and transportation, but you know, it's going into how people heat their homes. It's going into so many different products. There are thousands of products that are derivatives from petrol. You know, Vaseline. Petrol is in a lot of pharmaceuticals, synthetic pharmaceuticals. So it's in so many things. You'll never be able to get totally off of the fossil fuels, because once that crude oil is cracked, like I said, it has 1,000 uses, and we're never going to be able to get off of that and rely solely on green energy for all of our needs. Not unless you want to put the world back into the dark ages and have everyone living a slave life, because there's no way you can build enough windmills and have enough solar panels to meet the need. Because what do you do when the wind's not blowing, and what do you do when it's a cloudy day? You have no energy. You're done. And it's just not practical. So I don't see that ever happening. All right, so that is our silver futures. Now let's take a look at SLV and see how that's shaking up. SLV is under the same situation, except for it's in a wider Kumo cloud. You see how wide the cloud is, but it's below it too. It looks just like the silver futures, and it's tracking. And it does have a bearish pointer from the week of October the 1st. So right now, the bears seem to have a pretty good grasp on these markets, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. All right, here's what bonds are looking like on the weekly chart. This is TLT. All right, you can see that clearly you get more downside production. The bears have this market on lock as well, and it's just not changing right now. You're sideways to slightly lower, and that's what's happening right now, even in a green zone on a weekly. It will take a lot to turn this market, a lot. And it would take a lot of momentum, a lot of buying, and I mean a lot. Here's what the real estate sector is looking like with ticker IYR. This is the real estate ETF. Okay, so you can see here, it's been moving sideways for like, this is going on week 6 or week 5. You're going nowhere. Very tight trading ranges, unlike back here. Just really tight. Nothing really happening. Suspended in midair, topping out pattern looking like, even though you're in the green zone. Crash alert sell signals giving you an initial downside production and then followed by just sideways movement. Again, it would take a lot to get the market moving up. It just wants to stay consolidated. A lot of consolidations going on. Taking a look here at the energy sector, looking at oil. We just finished talking about that. Here is crude oil futures. We got a rally alert, right? That it's shaping up going into next week. Rally alert buy signal so far. Now, we're not done yet, but this is what it's shaping up to look like. So we could see a retest run up toward those highs, all things being considered. Got a more of a bullish outlook when it comes to the energy sector. Looking at OIH, which is the ETF that tracks the crude oil futures, it's shaping up to be a rally alert buy signal going into next week as well. So interesting turn of events so far in oil. Looking at Forex, here is the Australian dollar. So you're still hitting new lows. You're still getting downside production from the crash alert sell signal that happened on November the 5th. So it's the gift that keeps on giving. And so far, unless something changes, you're starting a correction cycle, which means much lower prices could be heading our way in the Australian dollar. Looking at the Canadian dollar. All right, so it's rally on in the Canadian dollar. So you've had, this is going on the third straight week of upside gains, even though now you're starting to hit that upside target resistance, which is like the, getting closer to the 127. What we'll call it 127. 127 seems to be a pretty solid resistance zone inside the Kumo cloud, wherein it is a possibility that maybe the bears will try to creep back in this market and kind of put the lid on this one. So this is going to be interesting going forward too. Can the Canadian dollar get an uplift? Can it get some help from the crude oil market? It is a very, very good possibility that that could happen. So definitely something to watch going into next week. Here is the dollar index, which has been a powerhouse. It's been powering up. All right, now you're flirting with the 97 handle. The rally alert buy signal happened the week of May 28th. And here we are just straight on up on the weekly chart, right? A couple of little hiccups along the way, but nothing really became of it. Just another opportunity to buy. You contrast that with the euro yen, which really tracks with that S&P 500, and it's a bearish song being played. You had your crash alert sell signal the week of November the 5th, and it's just been straight down ever since. So far, though, for the week, you're already making a bearish pointer, looking like the market wants to go deeper into the Kumo cloud and threatening to drop below the 126 handle. Is the euro yen signaling a downside draft coming for equities? That is a very good question and a fair question. Looking at the tech sector so far, here on the tech sector, on the NASDAQ 100 futures, so far, we're actually creating a crash alert sell signal for next week so far. All right, this is what it now. Things can this can change, but so far, this is what it's looking like. Trendline support down at 14,000 would be in play. That's quite the drop. We're talking thousands of points down. That could be quite scary. Now, what about the QQQ? Does it bear the NASDAQ 100 out? Well, yeah. So far, it's shaping up to be a crash alert sell signal as well. You can't ignore what the market is showing you. What about the Russell? Well, here's IWM, the ETF that tracks the Russell. And you can see this will be the third week down. Getting more downside production. Looks like it wants to go down to the trend line support around the 215 target. But do the futures confirm or deny that analysis when you look at the futures? That is a very, very good question. We pull it up, we open it up, and here is the weekly on the futures looking exactly very similar to the equity. So they're tracking pretty significantly together, but this chart is showing us a possibility of dropping below 2,200 on the Russell. All right, you can't make this stuff up. This is what the charts appear to be telling us. We got to pay attention. Unless something changes, this is where we are. What about the gold mining stocks? Well, here's your GDXJ. It came into this week with a crash alert sell signal, and what are you getting? Downside production. Looking like even more could be coming. Taking a look now at the crypto side of the pond. Let's start off with, if it's here, let's look at Gbtc on the weekly. All right, the ETF that tracks the Bitcoin, you can see it came in here with a crash alert sell signal, and we got no rhythm, no downside production, just a narrow range inside week so far. Nothing really going on. Waiting for something to break. Are we building a support and a base for a rally, or something else going on? Well, we'll come back to that. Here's ADA Cardano. All right. Came into here for crash alert sell signal. We've got no rhythm, no downside production there, but you do got a whopper of a bearish pointer here that I think is keeping the market in this trading range. So we'll call this trading range bar the week of October the 22nd. And so far, market is moving sideways with a bearish bias. Looking at Ethereum, here is Ethereum. So far, Ethereum is posing a possibility of a rally alert buy signal going into next week. All right, unless something changes, this could be an interesting sign. Flip-floppage is what we would call it. One canceling the other out. We shall see. This is a dangerous bar because sometimes this leads to a massive bar down. So this is very interesting how the markets are shaping up so far for the week. Next up is a Litecoin. Litecoin ain't really been doing nothing, as you know. It's still trading sideways. The master bar goes all the way back to the week of May 21st, and price action has been staying in there for more than half a year. Here's Theta. All right, so the Theta chart is kind of screwy looking, but as you can see here, sideways to more of a bearish bias so far in this one as well. And here's XRP Ripple. Sideways movement. The consolidation bar is the week of September the 10th, and the price action has stayed well within that range of that bar. Nothing happening. And then, of course, last but not least, the big daddy of them all, the mighty Bitcoin. Here's the Bitcoin futures on the weekly. So far, flip-floppage, but a little bit different. You see here the crash alert sell signal, right? The market came down, gave you a slight little bit of rhythm, a little downside production, and then quickly it's trying to bounce. So far, it's creating a rally alert buy signal going into next week, but we got this beginning of a correction phase coming, which could put prices all the way back below 4,500 on the weekly. Ouch! That would bypass our 50 to 55,000 old resistance sideways consolidation zone. So this could get quite ugly. I know some people are calling, excuse me, for big major rallies in the crypto markets for December, but here we take things a day at a time. Right now, we can't really call that. We got to trade what we see. So until something else happens, it is what it is. All right, I see you, Loco. I'm going to hook up my Aussie brethren over here. Let's see, you want to see Bbx on the ASX. Let's see what we got. This is Bbx Minerals. All right, let's see what we got for you. All right, Bbx Minerals. Okay, so this one, the weekly is looking like this. Not a lot going on. So far, setting itself up for a rally alert buy signal going into next week. But right now, this market is still under a correction on the weekly. You're below the trend line resistance, below the Kumo cloud. It's still a well-defined bear market, and nothing seems to be changing on that going forward just yet. It'll take a lot of people covering in order to give the bulls a little bit of hope. All right, now you want to see SVL. All right, let's see. I used to be able to pull that up quickly. Don't know what's happening. It must have changed the ticker on the repository. Let me try something else. All right, found it. It was buried under some other stuff. Okay, here's your SVL, and well, this will be our last one. All right, so your SVL on the weekly, you can see here we came into the week with the crash alert sell signal, and the market's giving you that downside production. Looks like it wants to, it's dangling here. You're in a green zone, so it could find support at any moment. and then rally and try to get back up to the trend line and then to the bottom of the Kumo cloud. But right now, the bears seem to have it right now. So I think more pullback is definitely on the table. Again, it would take a lot to turn this. Last time you were in a correction, but you didn't really get too much follow through, and then the market rallied on it, then came down again, rallied. Now it's looking like it wants to come down again. This looks like the beginning of this happening again, like a new big major leg down, I think, is coming on this one. All right, so that's all we got for today. I appreciate everyone. Go ahead and smash that like button. I hope everyone enjoys their holiday. Basically, a lot of people are going to be having a 4-day weekend because they're going to take off Thursday, Friday, then they enjoy Saturday and Sunday and come back Monday. Some people are going to play hooky on Monday and make it a 5-day holiday weekend. So it is what it is. But remember, there will be no videos coming on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. We'll resume with videos and the PulseWave reports on Sunday. Okay, so no PulseWave reports going out Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Everyone, enjoy your weekend, enjoy the holidays, spend time with friends and family, play some incredible video games, do whatever you do to relax, push back from the news and the computer. And you know the saying, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And I am out. Peace.